Arnold. We're going to be using Arnold. I love Arnold. Lovely Arnold. Okay, Arnold's the 3ds Max renderer. If you're not using, I think, 2018/2019, tough shit, you're not going to be able to use Arnold. However, I'm going to show you how to do some cool stuff real quick. So, hit F10. And I am going to just change this to the Arnold renderer. Okay, and wait a moment or two, because it takes bloody forever. There we go. Now, I don't want this big render of 1920 by 1080 at the minute, because that's going to be too big. I just want to do some previews, and if I hit F9, there you go. That is our entire thing. That is the wall panel, even though I've named it door, that I made using kit bash parts. Now, as you can see, so what we want to make it not flat and not uninteresting. So what I'm going to do is I am going to open up, go over there, the material editor. Now, as anyone who knows me will know, I tend to usually use the compact, old-fashioned material editor. However, this big material editor here, fantastic. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a layer shader. Okay, here it is, and a mix map. There we go. So these two shaders here, you can use either. I am going to use the mix shader, but I thought I'd just drag it out for you to have a look at. Okay, and I'm going to click on here, so we've got this big exciting ball. And now what I'm going to do is I am going to grab two shaders. I'm going to grab physical material 1 and physical material 2. There we go. Okay, and I'm not going to mess around with what they are. So I'm going to get my shiny car, red sports car paint, and instead of being red, I'm going to double click on this and make it green, because racing green is great. There we go, that looks a bit like racing green. And if I just double click on this, you can see, okay, there it is. So that's our lovely paint. Next, down here, where this one is, click on the big button so I can see it a bit better. Making sure it's selected, like that. Okay, you'll see I've still got to choose a preset, and I am going to choose probably something like sandblasted silver, okay, because it's just an old messy one, or something similar to that. Let's see, what else have we got? Brushed metal could do. Okay, you'll see it gets this big line across, or I could use so many choices here, man. Old copper could do. Or matte aluminium, that's always good. But I think I'm going to go with satin silver, okay, because that's basically bare metal, and what I'm going with is the idea that paint's flaked away over use and all that kind of good stuff, right? So I put that into there, and then I put that into there, and you will notice that our material is a mixture of this kind of silver and this kind of green. Now I'll hit F9 quickly. Doop-a-doop-a-doo. Oh, I didn't assign any materials to it because I'm an idiot. Never mind. Hang on then. So, select everything except for the floor. Then I select my mix shader, and I want to assign material to selection. Okay, hit F9, and you'll notice this becomes like, wow, that's shiny. That's okay. It's just a mixture between the extremely shiny base silver and the green. Okay. Now let's kill that. Bye. So how are we going to mix these two? Well, what we're going to do is we're going to use a curvature shader, okay, and our curvature is going to go into that. So if I hit curve up here, we get this lovely Arnold map, and I can just link that straight in. Pow. And you'll notice this now, if I hit F9, it won't be all gold anymore, it'll be that kind of metallic-y green stuff, yeah? Ugh. I don't like that green at all. Weird, isn't it? Now, one thing in Arnold that I should probably point out is that we don't have an environment at the minute, so it's not going to look too grand anyway. So I'll go to my Arnold renderer, and I'm just going to add in a HDRI. So I've got my environment settings where it says none, bitmap, and I'll grab myself down a HDRI Platts because it's as good as any. This is a very old HDRI set I bought years ago, can't remember where from, and or who made it, and I don't think it's for sale anymore, but you can find HDRIs like they're going out of fashion. Okay, and for background, I'm going to set just to a custom color and keep black. Okay, hit F9. This should now look a little bit more interesting because it'll have like reflections and junk going on. There, see? Much better. Right, cancel. So now we need to make it look more interesting and more depthy and stuff, so that's where this radius thing here comes in. So I'm going to grab some noise, and I'm going to apply it to my radius. So noise, maps OSL, good enough for me. Output goes to the radius, just over here. And I'm going to zoom in a bit so I can kind of see what I'm doing a little bit better over here, because I'm going to need to do some tweaks and refines. Now then, the multiplier I'm going to keep at 1, spread, maybe a couple more, 0.85, radius, maybe 0.3, I said 3. Over here I'm going to change it to both rather than concave or convex, and then if I go over here where my noise is, I'll just click on the make it look bigger picture here. Scale looks fine. Sometimes I'll use cell because I like cell, but it's entirely up to you. But Perlin looks okay. Just in case I find the one you like. And I'll make the low step maybe 0.4 and a high step of... If I drop this, you'll notice I get way more contrast. So it's up to you. I'd say about 0.65. See how that works. Okay, now already, even though you can't see it on that, and there's no point putting in a box as your preview material, we should start seeing a little bit of a change in our model as the edges start to come out a little bit more and get replaced with this kind of material. There we go, hopefully you can see it a bit better. Lovely. My recording tool crashed, don't worry, we're back. Right, so what I've done is I've paused this and you can see that we're starting to get edges appearing, okay, around there. Now, there's a little bit of tweaking to be done, so I'll do some tweaking. And most of this involves just coming down here and doing things with the noise and the curvature. But another thing I need to do as well is, where this noise output is, if I just open up this, reduce that a little bit, I'll just put these next to each other. It can be a bit of a nightmare sometimes when you've got loads of these. There we go. So if I change this over to the metalness map, and you'll notice that this starts getting a bit weirded, and then I'll put this to my, let me see, not my base colour, but I'll put it to my roughness. Okay, and that way you'll notice the light stops reflecting on it quite so evenly. And I'll put it on displacement, so that makes it lumpy. And there we go, bump map, why not? We'll just stick it on all 4 of these. It's a cheap and easy and nasty way of doing it, and it works. Okay, so we've got all those now, all 4 of them. And let me see, I might change the multiply on this to 2, just because I can. And I don't think I need to change the bias on it. Hang on, it always goes too fast, that thing. Yep, so 0. Let's say 65, just to exaggerate the curvature. Okay, now I'm going to have to hit render, and when I hit render, obviously this thing's going to freeze. So I also, even though I made this green, because, you know, I do things like that, I'm not that fond of it, so I'm going to put the red back. I think I can just change this to default actually by right click. Oh no, I can't, never mind. Okay, so I'll just, it used to be that you could do that. I'll stick the red back on, get rid of the green. Bye bye green. There we go. Look okay, because I think it looks nicer red. I don't know what it is. Right then. So now I've got this shader here with the mix in, and what I can also do is I could make a copy of this entire thing. So I'm just going to just hide child tree, take this, take a shift, and just drag it up to there. And then I'm going to lay out children. So that I can expand it. Oops, stop doing that, you. Right, now. Select layout, children, blah 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 blah. Where's all my children gone? There, unhidden. God dear me. And they're all copied from this. Now, what I can do is I can take this one, which is currently linked in, and I'll just make a copy of it. Shift. Not all of you, no, hang on. Go away, just this one. There we go. And now what I can do is I could... Oh, I keep forgetting how to do this, it's ridiculous. Go into here, and let's say I want a nice dark looking colour. So, go over here to about there. Click OK, and let's have a look at that. Perfect, and just bring that down to there. And that'll replace it and make this one different. So now I've got two materials. I've got that one and I've got the base one. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to select, and I can use F4 to make my job a little bit easier. Oops, not you. I'm going to select these pieces here that basically make up kind of the fundamental overcoat of this, as it were, including the back plate. There we go. And then with this selected, I should be able to just wait for autosave. Clunk, there we go. Okay, and that gives us two different colours running simultaneously. And both of them have a rust shader applied. Okay, so now, in my Arnold renderer, if I close that down and hit render, we should see, fingers crossed, this looking cool. So I'm just going to pause my recording tool for a while, because this will take about 20 minutes. There we go. Surprisingly, it only took about 4 minutes to render, but then again, this isn't a too complicated one, and I have got Arnold settings set fairly low. But if you follow my mouse, you can see, obviously, we've got the build-up. I'll just zoom in a bit. We've got build-ups here of like worn metals where things are intersecting with each other. It's all working pretty much the way it's supposed to. You can see here and here, and the worn areas really define it quite nicely, which I've always liked. And the good thing about using this shader is you could use an emissive for this, and you could have it where parts are broken away and light shining through even. So, you know, feel free to use your imagination. This is the most simply tweaked kind of Arnold shader I could come up with to kind of show you guys in real time. But as you can see, it works, and that's the whole point. Anyway, go and have a play with it. Make it work on your stuff, okay? I don't advocate kind of throwing just one material on your entire model and going, ta-da! Because sometimes it looks good, but most of the time it doesn't. I mean, I'm colourblind. I've got a feeling whatever they say these colours are, they're probably not going together particularly well. So, you know, use your non-colourblind common sense, or if you're colourblind like me, hey, go for it, man. It could be pink. Who cares? Okay. I shall see you in the next set from the Mech Master at 3D Palace. Ta-ta.